What's up?
What's
Good
up,
people.
man?
Comes some brand new
What's going
flavor
on?
in.
Here comes a brand new flavor in your ear. Time for new flavor in your ear. Grumpy old nerds, what's up?
What's
Uh,
going on, good people?
Up,
oh,
Savage.
oh
Come on,
shit.
Percy, open
What's
us
going
up.
on?
What's up, Percy?
Oh shit. Oh shit. John ain't here.
What's up, everybody
Oh shit. Here we
in
go.
the chat?
All right.
Grumpies. We the grumpies.
welcome everyone to the Grumpy Old Nerd Show. I am your host tonight because the other motherfucker can't get here on time. Uncle John. I'm Uncle Percy.
All right.
To my wait a minute. Let me go the other way. To my that way at the top. That's Auntie Nicole, aka
Hello. Hello, everyone.
In the middle is Fibro and Rowan, Uncle Rod,
What up? What up?
and of course
What it
down
is?
there, the most important person of the show to
Oh my God.
keep us drunk and happy. With the Red Bone Assassin, hey, Uncle DJ.
What up? What up? Red Bone Assassin in the house.
So of course I have not read anything, so I don't know what we're supposed to be talking about tonight. So
All right.
We talking about Rush, man. We rolling with Rush.
okay,
Rush
so
time
Hey,
management.
actually, we start off with Daredevil, Born Again.
oh well yeah, well,
For those of y'all who've seen it,
The first two episodes ended up, started out on Disney Plus this week. It was this Tuesday. I tried to catch it early, but it starts up. They got West Coast time and then they got our time. So
it was
9
like
o'clock
8
our
o'clock,
time.
9 o'clock. Yeah.
Yeah, 9 o'clock our time is when it actually was released to us, and we were able to see it. So I had to wait for a little bit. So right now, am I the only person that's seen the first two episodes?
yep.
All
I
right.
would think so.
Nicole, oh, break it down, brother. Break it down for us.
I was gonna say I don't really want to spoil nothing because it's only been Tuesday and it's Thursday now, so I want to give people a little bit of time to watch it. But I will say this: it does start off with a bang, literally. It starts
That
off,
means that means
yeah.
Punisher.
No, actually, it starts off kind of happy, and then it takes a really bad turn, like really
Oh,
fast.
wow.
Wow.
Aw.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
Aw.
I
and
see.
and
I want to spoil it.
So
and one of Daredevil's premier villains, Bullseye, shows up, and
Okay.
and then they do a time jump, which I'm not understand. Well, I really don't like time jumps in general when we talk about stories,
Mm.
but they do like a year time jump. I think it's a year. Um,
Oh, I see what you mean. Okay.
yeah. They go from that event, and then they go a year into the future, and the crew's not doing so hot. I'll just put it that way. Um, and Wilson Fisk decides that he is going to run for mayor of New York City.
Hmm.
New York
So
City.
yeah. So in that respect, it's kind of mirroring what happened in the comics in the last couple of years, because the last couple of years Wilson Fisk ran for and was successful in becoming mayor of New York City. He then promptly outlawed vigilantes.
Wait a minute. I thought he ran for mayor um in one of the other episodes in one of the other
One of the
series.
previous seasons.
Yeah.
Echo.
Yeah. Like,
I thought
was it in Echo?
I thought in
It
Echo he
was in
started.
one of the other streaming
Okay.
shows.
Well, in
Yeah.
Echo, okay, so the events that happen in Echo happened before Born Again. So
Okay.
yeah, I don't know. I don't remember him running for mayor in Echo, because I remember him pretty much chasing Echo around the Midwest. But because he actually mentions having a someone that he mentored rather than having a child, and that he was referring to Echo at that point.
Yeah.
Echo. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, there was that.
So
Okay. Do you remember at one point where there was stuff in he was going to be indicted and arrested,
hmm
and so somehow in the newspapers, like once he got uh um uh it's almost true to life, but once he was acquitted, then he was like, you know what, we need to clean this town up, I'm running for
Yeah,
mayor. He made
yeah,
he made the announcement.
right. And it's strange because um Kingpin's obviously traumatized, right? Wilson Fisk is obviously a traumatized dude. His relationship with his wife Vanessa is a little strained, but everybody it's not really clear if he's really doing this because this is what he really thinks, or is this some kind of con. Like, of course, everyone that's dealt with him before thinks he's just doing this because he's trying to gain more power, right? You know,
Right.
almost like current politics in real life. But
That's what I
in
said.
in any event, right? So everybody's not really trusting him, including Matt Murdock, who you know, if you look if you watch the trailer, you see the scene with them in the diner, and that happens.
Yeah, but nobody should trust him. He is a evil bastard that just wants power and
That's the thing. Everybody doesn't know that about him. Only like certain people in law enforcement and certain people in vigilantes
right,
really understand what he's
right,
about.
right.
So the regular rank and file in New York City, he's just a
A
rich
rich
art
man.
director. Yeah, art
Right,
collector.
right, right.
They don't realize he's the kingpin of crime. So that's where you get a lot of another interesting parallel when you see the people being polled about him becoming mayor, and they say, "Well, I like him because he's direct and to the point, and he gets stuff done."
Sound familiar?
I was gonna say, which again sounds quite familiar. So you see Marvel Television really, really leaning into and tapping into the zeitgeist of modern times, what's happening right now in terms of their
Right.
stories. So it's a nice little touch. I appreciate it. I thought they did a
Politics,
good job
you're
with
only a politician if you know how to work both sides.
Oh my God. But it's
Oh, it
more than
works.
that. It's
It
a lot
works.
more than that. Let's not simplify it like it's both
No, I'm
sides.
talking about the show. When you work both
No,
sides,
I
it
am
works.
too. I'm saying both. I'm saying
So,
Kingpin is a criminal,
Yes.
a murderer, a criminal, and all of that.
Hmm.
So there's
all of
only
that.
one side to it. But
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
so my question, Rod, is so the fight scene with Echo with Daredevil and
yeah,
the whole thing with She-Hulk, that has nothing to do with this show at all.
The fight scene with Echo
yeah.
was before
Before,
this.
right? Yeah,
It was
yeah.
before this. Uh, the She-Hulk interactions, I think, were also before this. Born Again.
Okay.
So this is taking place after all that.
Okay.
Right.
So have they
Um,
because I haven't seen anything yet, but have they mentioned any other heroes besides Daredevil?
they like in terms of like the other people who are the defenders, like Jessica
Yeah,
Jones and
yeah.
Iron Fist and Luke
Yeah,
Cage.
please
Not
tell us
yet.
that Iron Fist is in it, man. Come on, please.
They haven't
Please tell
mentioned
us
them
that
yet.
Iron Fist made a.
Yeah, they haven't mentioned them yet, but it's only 2 episodes.
Yeah.
They only have like the 2
True.
episodes there.
True.
I mean, like they
He
So
haven't
coming
shown
up.
like they don't show like Spider-Man swinging in the back, even though you don't see like Spider-Man. No,
no,
or
but
Kaufman's.
Kingpin does mention him.
Yeah. Like does he got a
Ah,
lip?
okay.
That's what, like is
Yeah,
there a
yeah,
lip?
yeah.
Yeah.
They exist in this universe.
Okay.
Because I know there was a discussion about that, and they pretty much they made the decision to merge all of these. So everything that happened in the yeah everything that happened in the Marvel TV universe is now canon in the MCU.
Okay.
Okay.
So they made
All right.
the decision to kind of merge those. And now
Very
Uncle
good.
John is here, and he's looking at
Uncle John.
some,
Well, he's sort of here. He's working on something right now. He
yeah,
you know he lifing. Life is
he's
lifing right now
trying
for
to get
him.
right.
Yeah.
Hey everybody. Hello.
What's
Hey.
going on?
Uncle
Hello.
John.
He finally fucking showed up.
Bam. Bam.
Yeah, I'm a
We're talking
slacker.
about the first 2 episodes of Daredevil
Oh
Born Again.
man.
Well,
Right.
good day, good people. Once again, you got the grumpy. Y'all did that already. Okay.
Yeah, we did that. Yeah.
So
Kind
the
of.
first 2 episodes
Kinda
of
did.
Daredevil Born Again. First of all, I have to ask, who's seen them?
I'm the
Oh,
only one who's seen it up to this point.
only Uncle Rod. So basically, we've done all this. You got 5 minutes before we move on to Paradise. So what's your take?
Well, Uncle DJ, my honest opinion of Daredevil Born Again. No, I only saw the first episode, but of course you get the prerequisite long extended fight scene in a corridor, which Daredevil does better than most. It started getting a little bit ridiculous, in my opinion. I don't know how Rob feels about that.
I didn't say anything about it, so.
Okay, yeah. It got to a point. It got to a point where it's just like, okay, we get it. You're human, and you're fighting another human. All right, we understand. You're tired. But there is one thing I'm not going to spoil that happens that kind of changes the course of the series from the Netflix series to Disney Plus. Rod, you know what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
That I did not see coming, number one, but I'm not surprised because although this is an extension of the Netflix series, I think that this series wants to kind of distance itself from it. Rod, how do you
distance itself from the Netflix TV
kind
of universe?
Yeah.
In terms of what? Because it was still pretty violent. So
I mean, it was still violent, but I think that they want to create their own particular world, like that Netflix series. Okay, so all of this is interconnected. We know this,
mm-hmm.
But I think at Disney, what they wanted to do was, okay, Netflix did their thing, and it to pretty solid results. But we want this to be, even though this is an extension of, we want this but this particular story to be told without the backdrop of that other story, if that makes sense.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they want to have as little detail as possible from the previous incarnation and kind of make this one their own.
Yes, and because of that, this spoiler alert, something that happens, I feel was necessary for them. Caught me by surprise. I was like, "What the fuck?"
I didn't say. Well, I said.
We already kind of have an idea. I mean, we're not stupid. We already kind of have an idea of what it could possibly be. Wow, really? Okay. But you just say, "You're behind me, motherfucker."
I've had more than enough arguments with Mrs. Nerd at this point. I don't need any more with y'all. All right. But based off the first episode, there is, and I don't know if Rod talked about this, but I don't think I'm spoiling anything. There is an interaction between Matt Murdock and Wilson Fisk that I found fascinating.
That's the diner scene, right?
Yeah.
I kind of touched on it briefly. Yeah, I touched on it.
That's in a trailer, so
it is.
But it's so much more than
there's definitely a lot more to it. Yeah.
Is it better? Is it better than Pacino, De Niro?
Talking about the Heat?
Yeah.
Interesting. You brought that up.
That's a diner scene. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It was good, but it wasn't that close. It wasn't touching Heat, but it was really good.
It was for a scene that was basically two men sitting down, pulling out their dicks to see which is bigger.
Right.
It was pretty solid.
Okay.
I don't know how else to put that. but it was a pissing contest. They
Nicole
basically
over there with the fake blushing.
Right.
She's like, ooh. Maybe I'll watch this tonight.
They basically were like, okay, you're on notice. I see you, and if necessary, I'll come take care of you.
I'm sorry. That was funny.
He's just letting them know he's on.
Daredevil said, "I see you."
That went. This is how fucked up I am right now. That went completely over my head. I had no clue what the fuck you were talking about.
No pun intended.
No, shit. But that now that you explained it, I find that amusing as hell. Thank you. But thank you for breaking it down for me. And I talked about your ass.
That's what I'm here for, according
right. But So, Rod, in your opinion, so you
Yes,
saw the first two
Alton. Yes, it
episodes.
is. It's worth the effort.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he definitely go see
Sorry.
it.
So Rod, with
Oh my God, yes.
the episodes that you've watched, how do you feel that this is going to stack up to the Netflix series?
So far, so good. I'm really looking forward to seeing the rest of the episodes.
Mhm.
Although I know there's some potential for some stuff to go really sideways and for me to not like it, but so far,
Hmm.
I'm liking what I'm seeing. I think that it was a very strong start. They have some definite story beats that I'm
Yeah.
interested in, and so I'm looking forward to see how that works out.
Yeah.
I'm hoping to get a couple of cameos here and there, but I don't know.
You know what? They got Disney money now, so it might happen. You never know. It would be real cool. I heard you all talking about Iron Fist. They can keep his ass. But I would love to see Luke Cage and Jessica Jones pop up just for the fuck
Oh
of it.
yeah,
Right.
yeah. Even if they was just fucking.
So Rod, last question. So in terms of the comic book storyline when Wilson Fisk became mayor of New York,
Mm-hmm.
how does this mirror it? Do you see it diverting in a certain way?
It mirrors. How I was just saying, it actually mirrors real life and what's going on right now in the country, and
Oh my God.
it mirrors somewhat what happened in the comics as to how he became mayor. I don't know if he's going to outlaw vigilantes in this, but he probably will because he keeps talking about it. Like that was
Yeah.
one of the things he kept harping on. So chances are he'll probably do that and make make vigilantes illegal, and then they'll be hunted. But I guess if you're going to do that, then you need to have some vigilantes to hunt in the show, correct?
Right. Right.
Right.
Because right now you just have Daredevil and you have a glimpse of a new hero called the White Tiger.
Hmm.
And this version of the White Tiger is different from the one that's been in the comics. So there's something it's a he. So there's more to him than meets the eye. We'll see what goes on in episode 3, hopefully.
Okay, I lied. I have one last question. Are we looking
Okay.
forward to seeing Echo in this? Because they do kind of offhandedly mention her.
Right. I'm trying to figure out how they could put her into it based on what happened with her in the last episode of her series.
Right.
I was about to say, what's her relationship with Kingpin right now?
I thought she was back. I thought in the last episode they kind of fast forward and she's back with him.
Okay. So they cool again.
Well, she tried.
Maybe they cool.
She tried. So.
Right. Right.
And they mentioned that as well too. So.
Yeah. Yeah. So. Oh well.
I mean, it's possible. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
Well, yeah. So I think we both can say we highly recommend Daredevil Born Again. Yeah, first 2 episodes are out now. Check them out if you have the opportunity. But
right now, check it out.
Yeah,
we'll see how it goes.
Because you're anticipating that shit going downhill. So next up, a TV series I had no intention of checking out, and I was bored one night, and the hook at the end of the first episode kind of drew me in. Paradise, starring Sterling K. Brown on Hulu. What do we think? How do we? It has ended. The first season is over. First of all, have we all finished
episodes?
I just saw the first episode.
Okay.
I have completed my homework on this fabulous show.
So what are we saying? What's our opinion of it?
I am looking forward to a second season because, this was actually really, really good. I liked it. And talking about mimicking what's going on in the world today, this show kind of has it literally down pat.
There's a lot of shit out there right now that's mirroring the dumb shit that we're experiencing.
Absolutely.
In our country. But I'm sorry. Let's go ahead.
But I don't know if anybody's been watching this show. This kind of was a sleeper for me because I didn't even know anything about it. So I just seen it popping up under the Disney logo and talk about a dystopian future where only billionaires run a particular area in which the world went under some cataclysmic event where only 25,000 people will be chosen to be in this particular special home that was created, which hence the name of the show, Paradise.
Let me ask this question. Did you all see that twist at the end of the first episode coming?
Yeah. No. Well, no. Actually, no. When they at the end when they finally
Reveal
showed that, and then he blamed the president. I was like, oh shit, what the fuck the president do now?
You know what tipped me off? When Sterling K. Brown's character went out for a jog, and then all of a sudden he had jogged to the president's house. I was like, God damn, you live down the street from
Yeah, it was very odd. 'Cause I said, how he live that close? I said,
right.
I've never known anybody just walk up on the president's house like that. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So I don't want to necessarily spoil the big plot twist at the end of the first episode for those who haven't seen it, but I'm real close to that shit, to doing that shit. But anyway,
I'm very curious because, like I said, I only saw the first episode, and I'm already like, well, what the hell happened to his wife? And
yeah,
I said, it's just the two kids and him, and the wife ain't around, and then he comes back and said, I won't forgive you till you're dead. I'm like, damn, what the fuck did he do?
So I will say this, and I'm gonna try and be as forgiving as I can be. When I first started watching Paradise, I was like, this is some bullshit. Because I had just finished coming off watching a couple of episodes of Severance. And
oh Lord Jesus Christ.
In Severance, right. In Severance, you got so much shit going on and so much shit that's subversive and you know, I watch Severance. I'll watch an episode of Severance. Then I'll go to TikTok so they can explain to me what I just watched. Because there's a lot of shit going on.
It's a lot of subtext and layers there.
As they went into, and as I dive deeper into the series, I recognize that it has a charm of its own. There is a certain amount of intrigue and mystery in it that I can appreciate. It doesn't have to be necessarily fucking Severance level type shit, but Paradise in and of itself, I was like, okay, I can kind of see where this is going. And they introduced enough characters that were interesting that I finally said, okay, fuck it, I like it. And by the time we get to, and Nicole, you know what I'm saying, what I'm going to be talking about. By the time they get to the president having to tell the nation what's happening, and he stopped and saw one of the butlers cleaning off a table, and he was just like, hey, man, I got to go back out there and tell the people what's really happening. Because
it was a human moment.
People are fucking around thinking, oh, okay, this is just, happenstance. We'll be okay. But these motherfuckers are about to die. And I have to tell them what's happening.
Yeah.
And that kind of touched me in a particular place I didn't necessarily anticipate being touched. But
can you show us on the dial?
You know what?
But I felt that by the time it was over, now I have to ask you also, Nicole, by the time the series was over, this first season, I felt a little cheated.
I did too, actually. There was quite a few questions that I had, and this is all based off of, let's say, the first 2 episodes. And this is just the theory and all the information around it, not spoiling too much of it. But think about it. You have this paradise. How was these people chosen? They never go into that, like, how did they pick these people and so on. Then you've got this world, like, why doesn't people feel okay in this utopia where everything is actually monitored and such, you know what I'm saying? And today, when you think about it, people don't want that. So how did they get these amount of people to be okay with this? So it's a lot of stuff that they've put in here that I wish we had answers to. What you saying?
Probably because they're promoting safety, or they're putting it under the guise of you're safe.
When you look at the characters, I mean, you got characters doing mundane tasks where, think about it, you could have been a physicist out here, but in this world, you're serving drinks at a bar. You see what I'm saying? So a lot of these people were picked for whatever reason, and I guess maybe some on reserve just so they can have these people around. But it's just like certain questions I have about that. But the main character, this woman that was human, so to speak, at one point, and has now become power hungry and such, you see what happens to her in her life, and they go through all of that, and you question, you feel bad for her at one moment, but then she's taking it to a whole nother level. So I just find it very interesting, and not giving anything away with this 8th episode. I was mad that this was the 8th episode and the last one, because they literally left you on like a cliffhanger. I'm like, oh, really?
The resolution for the central mystery, I felt was came to a conclusion way too quick.
Yes.
I think that it was just one episode. It was just like, bang, here's what happened. Like, wait a minute, that's some bullshit. Y'all done had me on the line for 7 episodes, and all of a sudden, y'all just said, fuck it.
Absolutely.
Here we go.
And that's it. It's like, now you're like,
yeah.
Now we gotta wait to season 2.
Yeah, right. So I'm anticipating. I like Sterling K. Brown's character.
Yes.
I like the villain. I like, what's her name? Sinatra. I like Sinatra, even though she got her comeuppance. I really love that little white girl, Sally. She's a character to look out for next season. Yeah, it was a good overall experience. I dug it.
Yes.
But I'm not, again, once you're on a Severance level with some shit, it's just like, yeah, that's some
it doesn't quite tickle your fancy.
So it's good, but it's not Severance good.
Yes.
Okay. Correct.
Because the twist you're talking about in Paradise, I haven't even gotten to yet. Because like I said, I'm seeing the first episode where the president was laid out.
Right. So have you gotten to the end? So did you get to the end of the first episode?
Not quite.
Oh, yeah. Well, they set it up, and Percy helped me out. They set it up in the first episode where there are subtle clues.
Right.
But by the time you get to the end of the first episode, because I went into this raw, which I am wanting to do. I went into this raw and didn't know anything about it.
For that, sir.
Exactly.
So my question.
So I went into this.
Look to your right.
What did you say, Percy?
No, I'm saying in the first episode, because I see that they told him what was going on, what was happening, and then but that black, whatever that device is, that I think that's what's really freaking him out. That device is gone, and I guess that has all the information and stuff of what went down or what that what do you call it, the black box, the black book, whatever you call it, that was stolen.
The tablet.
The tablet.
I think that one thing I hate. Well, no, I can't say that I hate it. But there's a portion of the resolution to the central plot, the central mystery, where it's just like, okay, it's been there the whole time, but nah, not kind of really. I think they kind of cheated a little bit. You know what I'm saying? It's just
not
like,
really.
Yeah, it was there. It was there, because I hate it when they bring in a new character
and you're waiting for that big connection, and it doesn't quite hit it with that big connection. They end up going off in different areas.
Yeah,
because you got to hit it.
Because I guess the other thing in the first episode, I'm like, why is he taking so long to make the call? Why is he taking so long to make a call? And then I'm like, oh, now I see why. Because damn, all he got to do is scream out the window. The president got shot, and everybody.
Yeah, he loses control of the crime scene. That's what he said.
Yeah,
right.
He wanted to find
things for
as much as he
himself.
could. Yeah.
And there are a bunch of characters back and forth who do their thing, and I don't really care about them as much as I should. But like in Severance, I'm worried about everybody. I want everybody to be okay. And this, I'm just like, yeah, if you die, I could be okay. I'm all right.
I think I'd be all right.
Yeah. So yes, but so the big question is, do we recommend Paradise?
I say
I
yes.
do.
Yeah, I like
do.
the first episode.
I was about to say, everything you said so far sounds like a recommendation. I mean, there's some shortcomings,
it's like a dystopian thriller type of thing. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's right up the world's alley.
If I'm getting Disney Plus to watch Daredevil, then I might as well get the Hulu package and watch Paradise, and then there's the Amazon boycott for the month of March, so I might as well wait until April to watch Reacher. So I'm
Amazon
good.
boycott. Okay.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Starting tomorrow.
I need a list of shit that we're not supposed to do.
I know, right? I know. I'm like, I
There
don't
is,
even remember
there
where
is,
we're supposed to go.
there is a list.
Yeah. Target was first.
There is a list.
Target was one of them.
Target is number one.
Yeah.
We got Target on the ropes. We might as well keep them there. I mean, you know, there's other places to go.
Yeah.
Target, there's other places to go. Yeah. But yeah, there's a Amazon boycott from the 7th till like the end of the month.
Damn.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah. Which I already canceled. I already canceled my Amazon as soon as I saw Bezos standing on that stage. I canceled my shit. So.
And that is the movie Paradise in a nutshell. All those billionaires is what's running the world. There you go.
And that's what I do, Mel. I shop local.
Okay. Well, that's been our political moment for the night. When we come back, we talked about Severance so much beforehand, but now we really actually get to talk about Severance. So, Uncle DJay, if you don't mind.
After these political messages, we'll be right back.
It's like a loot machine. All around town, people trying to get down. It's like a loot machine.
You're looking for the latest information on Southern University sports, the Southwestern Athletic Conference, and HBCU athletics. There's only one place to go. Tune in to the Carlos Brown Show, exclusively on the Black College Sports Network.
It's never too early to plant the seed, to share the tradition, and instill a sense of pride in your HBCU with your little ones. HBCU Pride and Joy Children's Boutique helps you share your school spirit with a wide selection of adorable kids apparel and accessories officially licensed from your favorite HBCU. Visit hbcupridejoy.com and follow us on all social media at HBCU Pride Joy on Facebook and Twitter.
Hey y'all, it's your girl Sonia from She Say Sports. Make sure to check us out every Friday morning at 9 a.m. on Black College Sports Network, YouTube, and Linktree. And please don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube page.
We're back once again. Grumpy Old Nerds. Good day, good people. I didn't get to say this at the beginning. Good day, good people. We're the Grumpy Old Nerds. I'm your Uncle John, who talks too much shit about movies, TV, and comic books. And here are all my friends. Okay. So, Severance, episode 7. The name of it, Shikai Bardo. I'm pronouncing that incorrectly. This shit was probably one of the finest hours of television I've ever seen in my life.
It's very impressive.
And it took us to get to this particular point. We had to go through all that other shit to get to this point where we see Gemma and what she endures every day on the what's the area that she's in?
She's basically on the Severance, well, not the Severance floor.
She's not on the Severance floor.
No, she's
on the freak. It's on the freak floor, wherever that is. Jesus Christ.
She's on the freak floor?
Yeah. She's basically on the one of Dante's lower levels of hell, basically.
Now you
said that, I'm definitely watching this show.
What one thing exactly I've talked before about going to TikTok and so people can explain to me what I've just watched. The parallels between Dante's Inferno and Severance, first of all, are intentional. And second,
of course,
it's really, really fucked up.
of course,
because
it's hell.
because basically Gemma, every room that she goes into is another severed personality. Meaning that when she walks to that room, she becomes that person. When she walks back out, she becomes Gemma again.
Right.
And she has to relive
All
every
that
day
trauma.
going through that shit, the shit that she goes through.
And did you notice there were 25 rooms?
Yeah.
There was a list
I
of
didn't know that.
25 rooms. Yes.
So that's 25. So that's 25 different personalities plus Miss Casey, which makes 26. What the fuck, man?
I'm telling you.
So for those of you who don't know about the show Severance, and if you don't, how dare you? Severance is about what happens if you are in a position where you can come to work, have an entirely different personality while you're at work, and then when you leave work, go back to who you are. So you have your life outside of work, which
And
is
you have your work persona and your out of work persona,
which they call the outie, and then you have the innie, where every day you go back to work. When you leave work and you blink out, the next thing you know, you're back at work, which is a whole different kind of hell.
Right.
And this is what we experienced in this past episode last week was the main character's wife, who he thinks is dead. She is now not on the severed floor, but she's on a different floor entirely, where they're running experiments on her.
Right.
And each time she walks into a room, she becomes a different person. And each time that person walks into that room, they don't experience anything else. All that personality experiences is that room and that torture. And that is fucked up.
And the sad part about that is that each person remembers what that room is. So, for instance, like, remember when she went to the dentist room, where it was the Wellington dentist room? She remembered that it was painful the last time because she was standing there like a little girl, like she didn't want to be over there. And so I said, could you imagine having to understand every time your mind clicks to this room, it's torture. Every time you click to this room, you're irritated. You click to this room, you might be
every time you walk in that room, your mouth hurts.
Right.
There you go. And that's exactly what happened to her. You know, but
no, she literally said, "Oh, my mouth."
Literally.
Okay.
Go ahead.
But she actually had the opportunity to escape, and because she had to go through the severed floor, she forgot what she was running from.
Right.
And she became that personality on the severed floor. And then the supervisor came and said, like, "Miss Casey, please go back downstairs." And she's just like, "I don't know why I'm here." He was like, gave her a bullshit excuse and said, "Go back." So then when you go back,
there's something interesting.
What's interesting
about that part?
Nicole? What's interesting, Nicole?
If you notice, when Milchek opened that door and saw Miss Casey, you saw he was out of breath.
Yeah, because he had to run and catch her ass.
Because he looked like he was still in his jacket and everything. He clearly walked into work.
Somebody called
him. Called him up.
Go get her before she walk the fuck out.
Right.
And that man must have ran to that room to catch her before she came out. Because and the part that's got me on this edge of my seat was I was like, is she going to get out there and Mark going to see her? You know, I was waiting for that, and Milchek was right there, boy. I said, that man loves his job.
Well, Mark is actually going through a process of reintegration where his outie and his innie are working towards being combined.
Right.
We're waiting for the day when Mark, who has all of his memories, not just Outie's memories and Innie's memories, but all his memories, runs into Miss Casey and recognizes her as his dead wife. But the story, the main story for this, of course, we had the revelations of that particular floor, but also we get to see how Mark and Gemma got together, got married,
and that was beautiful.
Tried to have a baby. And the cinematography of that episode was beautiful.
Absolutely.
But you also see how Lumen was always in the background. with them as their relationship was blossoming. Lumen was always, blood transfusions, or they went when they tried to get Gemma pregnant, they went to the doctor. Oh, and speaking of which, Robbie Benson shows up in this episode. Yes. I'm like, what in the entire fuck? Where is he?
He's creepy in this thing
for the past 40 years.
He is creepy.
And Sandra Bernhard shows up in this episode.
Yes, she does.
Sandra Bernhard. Wow.
Yes.
Dude, I was just like, holy shit. So not only do I get this really great story, but I get these two fucking legendary actors from the
80s.
Notice that his character seems to be rather fond of her too. I get the feeling.
He's nasty.
Yeah.
He's nasty.
Yes, he seems to be, quote unquote, feeling her, as we say. Right. But I mean, the thing is, I wanted to get your what you thought. The part where she says when she's ready to leave, and he said something to the effect of, "Well, the world will get to know, what you contributed," or something like that, or what have you. I'm like, are they going to kill her? Or are they going to just, what I'm saying? I'm like, I was trying to understand what he meant by, of course, it's too soon, but still just trying to understand his mind frame, like what he was thinking.
There were a lot of subtle hints and callbacks to a lot of things. When they asked her, when Sandra Bernhard asked Gemma, what are you more afraid of, drowning or, what was the other one? Drowning or... Oh, I forget what she said, how she put it, but one or the other. And it was like, okay, but she is suffocating or drowning.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Are you more scared of suffocating and drowning? Those are two things that Helly had experienced. Helly had suffered suffocating when she tried to hang herself, and then she had experienced drowning when Irving was drowning her, trying to get Milchick to revert her back to Helena. So I mean, but like I said, now watch this shit and then watch Paradise, where it's just like, hey, here we go.
Paradise allows your brain to be at rest a little bit.
Right. But Severance, what'd you say, Percy?
No, I'm just saying, it just, when I was watching, like, damn, she's just a fucking hoe. What the hell is going on around here?
Why is Gemma a hoe?
Because she was with every other, because I'm like, she goes and she becomes this character, and she's sleeping with this guy, then she's married to this guy, and then they go back to old boy. I thought she was married to him. I was like, damn, they got Gemma as a hoe in this movie. Just her
mind. Gemma's not the hoe.
Maybe it's me.
Helly wanted to get it on both ends of the brain. Helly decided to go for broke.
Who else was Gemma sleeping with, Percy?
Wasn't it okay? So it was the one. It was the one.
Oh,
one room. No, one room. The guy sitting there. That was the husband. Who had on the white sweater?
This it's a simulation. It's what they were doing. It's kind of to get where her thought process is. But
and then when she was like dressed up like she was in the 50s.
Right.
Oh, that was the doctor living out his old nasty ass fantasies.
Yeah, if you ask me, that was just him.
That's why I was trying to figure out, like, damn, she a hoe. What the hell?
No, because
it was him on the plane too, when the plane was going through turbulence.
Right. Yeah. But see,
that was okay. Too.
If you look at it from a different particular standpoint, all of these things are what we as people are afraid of. She went to the dentist. She was in an airplane that was going down. She was writing, not necessarily afraid, but she was writing thank you notes, which she felt was very tedious.
She got writer's cramp.
Stressful situations.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
So it's they're literally torturing this woman in different personalities. So
and the idea that I was under, I came to understand, it seems like what they're trying to do is compartmentalize certain levels of fear and joy and different ways of feeling. So apparently, this is all leading, of course, to some sort of greater plan that they're going to have, which I think has to deal with Keir, the person that runs this whole or the history of his family running this whole thing. If you ask me, just to give you a quick theory, I think that they're trying to regain his consciousness, like somehow or another bring Kier, maybe physically not back, but maybe implemented in someone, like those little things they put in their head, somehow or another that becomes, imagine if you can turn off fear and be fearless, you know what I'm saying? And then come back and be regular again, type of thing. That's kind of sort of what I think they're doing.
But here's a philosophical issue I have with that. That means a part of your personality only experiences fear. And then you're cutting your soul into two. One that only experiences the bad shit, and one that reaps all the benefits.
Right.
And where are we like that in terms of who are we if we don't have the bad shit to learn from? And who are we when we only experience the fun shit and only get to do the good things?
You're not a full, actualized, realized person.
Exactly. Absolutely. Yeah. And that's what I think they're doing. There's somehow or another, think about it, a dictator or someone that treats like let's say someone using Hitler, for instance. Think about it. He was young at one point, maybe a child, goody, whatever. He grew up, and for you to sit there and to kill a ton of people, you have to turn something off and be able to do that.
Something was turned off as well as something was activated within him at the same time.
There you go. And I think in a way in this show, it's something like that. And I think it almost, because even if you ask me, that's kind of sort of seeming like how Lumen is doing things. The whole, Kier thing and the Kier philosophy, or let Kier do this for you. And, you know what I'm saying? So it's almost that kind of mentality is how this place is run.
Well,
I think Milchek is starting to get second thoughts, or something about him is changing.
Yeah, they're racist as fuck, and Milchek is like, yeah, I'm tired of this bullshit.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I tell you one thing.
Even when you have different personalities, you still got to have racism. Okay.
Isn't that fucked up? It's still there.
So we couldn't get rid of that, huh?
No, absolutely.
Can't get past that. But I tell you what,
racism for productivity, is that
right? I tell you what though, it better not be 3 fucking years between this season and the next season. Because
oh my gosh, I hope not.
I damn near forgot about every goddamn thing from that first season, and I love this show. But anyway, let's take a real quick break, and when we come back, we will shout out our dear sister Angie Stone. So, Uncle DJay, if you don't mind, in your best Angie Stone voice.
Wow.
Give it to him, section.
Auntie Nicole, go for it.
Yeah. After these messages.
Let's face it, shopping for insurance can be time consuming. That's why when it comes to your auto, home, and life insurance needs, make things simple and trust the experts at Allstate. They will help you get the coverage that fits your needs while helping you bundle your life, home, and auto policies. Bundling saves you money, sure, but it also saves you time, so you can enjoy the things that matter most even more. Contact me, Tammy Haynes, your local agent, for a free personalized insurance quote. Allstate, are you in good hands?
There's a shot. That might be. It could be. Right field, grand slam! What a shot! That's how you get hot, young fella.
Thank you guys for what you do for HBCU athletics. This is a fantastic avenue for all of us. This is our ESPN, so we love what you guys do. All you guys at BCSN, we really appreciate what it is that you guys do for us.
Are you hungry for authentic Caribbean food? Like jerk chicken, oxtail, red snapper, shrimp, tofu, and rasta pasta? Well, find your way over to Mango's Caribbean Restaurant, 180 Auburn Avenue, right next to Royal Peacock in downtown Atlanta.
Them belly full, but we hungry.
Mango's Caribbean Restaurant, open daily from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. And on Friday and Saturday, we're open till 4 a.m. Come to Mango's and put some spice in your life.
So we've got a good thing going.
Mango's Caribbean Restaurant, 180 Auburn Avenue, right next to Royal Peacock in downtown Atlanta. For more info or directions, call 404-698-3992 or log on to mangoscaribbeanrestaurant.com. For instant coupons, text MANGOS to 313131.
Tell your mama hungry, Papa hungry, brother hungry.
Mango's Caribbean Restaurant. Authentic Caribbean cuisines.
Open up the door, tell them I'm hungry.
The Cuvée Group is a Florida-based marketing and training consulting firm. We help businesses communicate to their target audience and engage them in conversation. We also help to expand their audiences, which will ultimately result in growth for those organizations. In addition to being a certified constant contact specialist, my colleagues and I are also certified in John Maxwell Leadership Principles. We use these proven principles to conduct workshops, training, and private coaching sessions for individuals and companies looking to take things to the next level. Contact us to schedule a free consultation. Issues today, don't delay, call Cuvée.
And we're back once again with the Grumpy Old Nerds. There's a bunch of us here. So, what we want to do is we want to take a minute to shout out Angie Stone, the prolific R&B and hip hop writer, producer, singer, who passed away this past week. Angie Stone's career began in the 70s when she was 16, and she was in a group called The Sequence. They had their first major hit with Funk You Right On Up, which
was that her mom?
Huh?
Was that her mom? Wasn't that her mom?
No, that was her.
That was her in Sequence.
Yes. And through her breakthrough into the 90s as a solo artist and going on throughout, she was everywhere. And each of us has a favorite Angie Stone song of some kind. And we just want to offer our condolences to her family and friends. Gone way too soon. She passed away in a auto accident. So, anybody have anything that they want to share about Angie Stone?
Are you sure that wasn't her mom in Sequence?
I'm positive, Percy. Is there anything anyone would like to share?
It's not a person.
Yes, Percy. I'm positive that was not her mother. That was her.
I thought she was.
Wow.
I thought she was in another rap group. So you're telling me Angie Stone she was old. She was with the Sugar Hill Gang.
Angie Stone was older than us. Yeah, she
was born in 1961, and The Sequence was formed in 1979. She was 18, Uncle Percy.
I thought I was her mom. Okay, all right. Well, excuse me. Sorry.
Okay.
Oh, I can tell a story though.
Please do.
Angie Stone was in my limousine at one point.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What, did she fart or something?
No, she just didn't speak to me. That's all.
Damn.
Okay.
Is there a reason that she didn't speak to you?
No, she just didn't want to talk. I don't
Is
blame
that the story?
I think that was it.
I mean, that's pretty much it.
If she didn't talk.
But I do remember that jam. That was a jam, though. I'm glad you brought that up because I remember Angie B, but I never made the connection between Angie B being Angie Stone.
Yeah. They were the Sequence was the second group signed to Sugar Hill Records, which of course
by Sylvia Robinson. Yeah.
Wasn't she trying to recently? She was trying to get like her masters or something like that, like trying to get her what is it? The same thing Michael Jackson and
the
Prince.
Masters. Right, her masters.
Right,
Yeah,
trying to get her. She was just recently talking about that. Did an interview about that.
Well, I mean, if you want to be conspiracy theory about it, then
That's so sad.
They were like, "Oh, you're trying to get your masters, huh?" Well, I'll tell you what. No, I'm sorry. Anyway.
But no, I'm just saying. I just remember seeing like a video of her talking about it, where she was saying she was trying to get a hold of all of her stuff, and I was like, good for her. She was trying to, because I mean, that's where you make money, your royalties and everything like that.
No, absolutely.
Having your masters is key, and a lot of people don't.
Yeah,
in the industry.
absolutely.
What I think we've all learned is that the record industry is shady as fuck because a lot of these people aren't getting the money that they deserve. Rod, wasn't there something that you wanted to mention about all of this?
Yeah, well, first off, I want to say rest in peace to my my Zeta sister, Angie Stone. One thing that I did not know about her, and I don't know how I didn't know this, but she and singer D'Angelo had a child together.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how I didn't know that. But one of the things that people coming up with, or kept coming up once she had passed, was that people were really getting on her case, talking to her like, how did a big girl like you pull a guy like him?
I remember that. I do. Oh
my God!
I do remember that.
Like when D'Angelo became a official sex symbol,
right? And he's younger than her too, right?
He is, and that's another thing. People were trying to bring up like grooming stuff. I'm like, hold on, y'all, hold on. I understand there's an age difference, but when they met,
he was still a grown ass man, though.
He was legal. He was like 19 or 20 years old. So what the hell? Like, it's like you picked this time to come up with this kind of stuff about her.
Yeah.
Like, I also found how it's real shady because, you know, fortunately it's our own people that's doing it. But I found out that at one point Idris Elba was interested in her, wanting to date her, and she said she didn't go along with it, but she didn't even pursue it because she said that she didn't want to hear the foolishness that she heard when she was with D'Angelo.
Damn.
About how a big dark skinned girl is gonna be with a dude like that. How did she get him?
Damn.
Wow.
What?
Okay.
I hate to see that.
And she wasn't always big. Like, she posted on her Facebook page when she wasn't big, and she said that because she had some health issues and she was taking steroids, that's what blew her up. And she just recently had lost a whole lot of weight. Like, if you see like recent photos of her or video of her, she slimmed down a lot.
Well, they said that was like the reason that she died as opposed to anybody else on the I guess it was a minivan or whatever. Is
it was a Sprinter van.
Condition.
I didn't hear that.
Yeah, because of her condition, the stress of it and being upside down and her breathing and everything, it exacerbated her condition. So, but real quick, I just wanted to say today is Sylvia Robinson's birthday, who signed Sequence back in the day, and rest in peace, Roy Ayers.
Yeah, I did see that as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well,
he collaborated with Guru on Jazzmatazz. That was amazing.
Yep.
Oh, man.
Yeah, he's
we
considered
need a whole show for Roy Ayers.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, this is a whole down ass note that we're ending on. But you know what?
Put this shit on the schedule. You schedule this shit last. I saw the schedule. I'm like, really? We gonna end it on Angie Stone?
No.
All right.
Oh, and here comes
really gonna end
it
now
music.
too.
I guess I'm forcing more to drink and shit. Fuck. Damn,
DJ.
Super producer Mel got to hurry up and grab that DoorDash before it gets cold. So for Auntie
They poured that shit like it was cough medicine.
For Auntie Nicole, Uncle Percy, Uncle Rod, and Uncle DJ, I'm Uncle John. Cuzzin Amayou, we miss you. Hopefully you come back soon. For super producer Mel, thank you so much for checking us out, for rocking with us. We'll see you next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. Night night.